Hey everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another 4.5mm BB pistol tabletop review. There will be no shooting in this review. I will be following it up with a field test shooting review shortly, so stay posted for that. Alright, you might wonder why you're seeing double. Why do you have two of these guns? They look identical. Well, they do look identical, but there's just a couple little differences. The first being is that one is blowback, one is not. One can shoot in double and single action, and one only shoots in single action. So right here we have our non-blowback, and here we have our blowback. Now I have already reviewed the ASG STI Duty One blowback version, so check that video out. And again, I will be doing the field test shooting portion. I may go head to head with these guys because the non-blowback version should shoot a little bit harder, have a little bit higher FPS, may even be a little bit more accurate since the slide's not moving around as much. Alright, let's get into some of the specifications. Again, we're reviewing the non-blowback version, so it's a non-blowback slide, but it does move back and forth. I'll show you that when I do the walk around. And if you haven't noticed, it's basically designed around the 1911 or the Colt 1911-45. It uses 12 gram standard CO2 cartridges, shoots 4.5mm steel BBs, has a 20 round dropout metal magazine. This gun weighs in at 1.8 pounds, and again it shoots in single and double action and has a claimed FPS of 407. And it's basically a replica of the real steel 1911 STI Duty One. This gun is distributed by ASG or Action Sport Games. Now it does come in a nice white box like most of the ASG BB pistols. Okay, so here's the box. Now the blowback version would say blowback right above here, so that's one way you can tell. Inside the box, of course, you have your little bubble wrap, which you can pop on your own time. There's your basic manual. I'm not going to go through it too much, but you have a little guide here, some other products. You've got this little Allen key for adjusting the rear sight, all that kind of stuff in there. Alright, so before I do the walk around, real quickly, just want to show you. Again, this is the blowback version, so slide moves back, right? And of course you're going to be shooting in single action when you shoot the gun, but you'll notice there is no double action. So that's another way you can tell which is the single action, or sorry, which is the blowback and which is the non-blowback version. So slide, right, there you go. Okay, so that's one way here. Now you'll notice on the non-blowback, slide moves back and forth, locks back as well in the last BB. But what you will get with this one is you have a single action and double action. Okay, so there's your difference. No double action. Double action. Now, as far as I know, mags are the same. Everything else should be the same. Just no blowback. So, it depends. You know, some people like blowback, some people don't. At least you have the option here. And I like blowback, and I don't really feel that you're going to lose a lot of power. I believe it's like 370 or 380 with the non-blowback version, and even that version is accurate. I remember it shooting up into the 400s, or at least getting really close to 400 when I chronoed it, and it was accurate, and it got a lot of shots per CO2. There's really not much more you can ask for. Blowback and efficiency and FPS and accuracy, I mean, that's about as good as you can ask. So what are they going to do with this one? It's going to shoot a little hotter. I don't think it's going to get any more efficient unless they tone down the CO2 a little bit. Could potentially be more efficient. Maybe more accurate because it's not moving around as much as the blowback version. Guess we'll have to see. Alright, so let's get into looking around at this gun. We've compared the two. Let's just look at it nice and close here. So again, you have the STI Duty One. I'm just going to leave this max 3 joules on here so I can tell the difference visually between the two. You've got your textured grip here, slide grips. That's not what they're called, I know. People are going to give me a hard time. Forget what they're called. Yeah, just tell me. Doesn't matter. So you have your slide catch release. Okay. You've got your safety here. Safety is not ambidextrous, by the way. So you've got your safety. Right. Locks everything out. And you've got your plastic grips. Now the bottom part of the frame here. So the frame is polymer. The slide is metal. The trigger is metal. The hammer is metal. I believe, yeah, the safety is metal, the slide catch release is metal, even the magazine release is metal, and of course the magazine is metal. Got your STI markings. Okay, really nice looking gun. Alright, again I'll show you that magazine a little closer up. Okay, it locks out nicely so you can just load it up, pop it through when you're done. So let the follower release. Now to get at the CO2, you just push this in here. That comes up and your CO2 goes in there, and you have the standard, you know, just a twist here. It's plastic, but as I've seen with all my guns, I've never had any problems with those plastic tabs. They're just fine. Okay, so we've seen this pretty good here. Let's flip it around. Alright, we have the STI markings there, licensing again. We've got our ASG F for the European market, .177 caliber, 4.5 millimeter BB. Serial number, another STI licensing again. Okay, so open ejection port, but this is all the inner workings of the gun, so you don't see inside the breech in the mag well, so to speak. It's just hidden behind this. But it is an open port, okay? Let's take a look at the top. Again, this rear sight is adjustable for windage because it's got that Allen key thing, little hole there. So that's the Allen key screw there, and you can move this left and right for windage. Look at the sight picture, no black or no white dots, so look out with dark back targets that you're shooting at. Fairly high. Now the barrels on these guys are nice and open, they are recessed, so that's nice. And this little piece actually does come off, and there's threading on there for the mock suppressors that STI or ASG sells. We just don't really carry them. Sometimes it's just difficult dealing with importation with Canada Customs, and anything that has to do with a suppressor. It can be done, but it's sort of a pain. Alright, so let's take a look. There's a seam that runs along this gun. It's not too bad. Got your Picatinny rail here, Weaver Picatinny rail. And again, double and single action. Alright. And again, there's no shooting test, but it will be following shortly. Let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. Now, even though this gun isn't blowback, it does have a working slide with a working slide catch and release. And in theory, the slide will lock back on the last BB. Not that it's moving, but if you had an empty magazine and you pull the slide back, it will lock back on the last BB. Now, if you have a full magazine, the slide should not lock back. But I'll try that out when I'm doing my field shooting test. I like the fact that the ASG STI Duty One has an adjustable rear sight for windage, that it shoots in both single and double action. Now the quality is very good, it's very well made, the fit and finish is nice. Now even though I haven't done the shooting test just yet, I'm expecting this gun to have very good power, equally as good accuracy as the STI blowback version, perhaps even a little better in both categories. Now, in terms of CO2 usage, I'm expecting that to be good as well, perhaps even a little better if they've scaled some of the CO2 back just a bit. This gun does have a nice metal dropout magazine, that's always a plus. And overall is a good STI replica. And in general, this gun just holds really well in the hand, and it's just a lot of fun to shoot. So let's get into some of the cons. The trigger is not a true 1911 style trigger, and I'll give you an example. Here is a 1911 trigger, single action only, and you'll notice it's rather different. It's not the lever style, right? It just slides back, straight back, okay? Very short take up, nice and light. People love 1911 triggers. And I think that's one reason why people buy 1911s, is they just like the trigger style. You'll see this is like a lever, and just you have to pull it, it just swivels back. It's just a different design completely. Now there is no working grip safety, so what I mean here, I'll use the other gun as an example. This doesn't do anything, it's just for looks, whereas with this guy, okay, so I'm pulling the trigger, nothing's happening until I put that grip safety in and I pull the trigger. Okay, so that's the difference. Again, the STI Duty One has a polymer frame instead of a metal frame, but a lot of modern updated guns will switch the materials over from the big heavy steel. Sometimes they'll switch them to aluminum or polymer when they feel it's a good option to be used in that gun. Now, I haven't shot this gun, but previously when I reviewed the STI Duty One blowback, I found the CO2 a bit hard to get out, so I'll have to see if that's the same with this version. Alright, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Come on down to replicaAirguns.com, where we have posts, articles, reviews, and a lot of pictures of these guns that I talk about here in these videos. We also have our Canada and US replica airgun stores where we sell the STI Duty One in both blowback and non-blowback versions, and we have a bunch of other products there. We have air guns, BB guns, pellet guns, airsoft guns, blank guns, knives, and other accessories. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.